Welcome back and thank you for joining me. This time around I'm looking for one of my favourite summer arrivals to photograph, the tern. The location is Rye Harbour on the south coast, a brilliant location for terns and all kinds of different summer migrants and rarities too. The central hides can be a great place to see both the common terns and the black-headed gulls that make the pools there their home for the summer. Although not the most exciting bird, being able to watch the gulls go about building their nests and finding a partner, and their behaviour in general, is far more interesting than you might think. All of a sudden, in the distance, there's been a predator. The terns, both the sandwich and the common tern, along with everything else on the water, took to the skies in the hope of not being singled out. Scanning the sky, I do my absolute best to see what it was that spooked the birds, but I can't see. Maybe a false alarm. If you're squeamish, look away now. A regular sight at the moment, these black-headed gulls, the males regularly regurgitating their freshly caught fish for their partners, who don't seem to know when it's run out, and they'll follow the male around frantically, asking and shrieking for more. After the act, the birds would routinely go into the water to wash off. I'm not surprised. With the larger meals, this could get pretty grisly. The small islands are the main target here, but it's worth keeping an eye on the margins of the lake because you can easily miss birds like this redshank patrolling up and down. The terns are the target here, but I can't complain with the amount of avocets. This pair getting a bit amorous. The behaviour here was great to watch actually, the males surprisingly aggressive, defending both the best nesting spots and their females. The avocet, the logo of the RSPB, is a Schedule 1 bird, so be careful not to disturb them. Killed so that their feathers could be used in fishing flies and their eggs stolen to make, of all things, pudding, the last breeding colony was wiped out by 1825. Minsmere and Havergate Island were host to the small number that returned during World War II, most likely disturbed by the wartime flooding in the Netherlands, but after the RSPB secured both of those sites, the avocet population exploded. As elegant a bird as any, it's rather unsuited to one of its old names, the yelper. Migrating as far as East Africa in the winter, this small wader uses its curved bill to swipe back and forth in the shallows, looking for small sea creatures. Either my eyesight is getting a lot worse, or it's another false alarm, but for the life of me, I just can't spot the predator that's caused this chaos. No terns close enough to photograph this time, so I'm back the following weekend to check in and see if any more have arrived. But I didn't expect what I saw next. The water level had risen so high it had destroyed what were the start of the black-headed gulls' nests. I'm stuck. No gulls, no terns either, and hardly anything else. So it's a couple of hours waiting, doing a few laps to just see, and then it's off home. Nothing. I mean, really nothing. 3's the charm though, and the next weekend the terns are back in huge numbers, and they're close, and they're doing that, whatever that is. I'm not sure this pair have got the hang of it yet. Could be their first year migrating, but he's just standing on her. Yep, I'll stand on her some more. These April to September visitors are some of our best in my opinion. Astonishingly acrobatic in flight, these small, long-distance specialists are intensely aggressive at their nest sites, dive-bombing predators and making sure any potential rival is shown the door. This ringed plover struck gold, pulling a worm nearly half his size out of the ground. It should be said that terns of all species are just incredible collections of facts and figures. Common terns, for instance, flying a round trip of almost 35,000 kilometres during migration. That's almost 22,000 miles. To put that into context, the longest walkable road in the world, without using a boat, is 22,000 kilometres long. And it takes 587 days. By the way, that's not even the record. Some terns have been recorded doing 51,000 miles in one migration. 51,000. Unfortunately for some, that journey, however long, is just too far. The strain on their internal organs, one push, too much. On top of the countless birds that don't make the sea crossings, plenty of them will reach their destination, but the journey will have taken its toll. So the next time you see a migratory bird, and in particular a tern, spare a thought for what they've had to go through just to get here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.